Before you start, it's always worth practicing the technique on a bit of hardboard or a large piece of paper, or on the walls you're intending to roller before you paint the base colour. We recommend you use old household paints you might have. Look at the written instructions on the website for different paint options and how to use them. Okay, so before you start, plus, minus, diametrically opposite from each other, and that will help as you move down the wall to do a repeat pattern. They vary in size, so put it into the elongated slot and check it goes freely. Sometimes it doesn't and you need to ease it, just slightly. That's perfect. Put the foam roller into the middle of 3 holes in the handle bracket. Make sure it's really dry from the previous use. As it's made from high density foam, it can carry a lot of paint. Rather than using a paint tray, pour some paint onto a flat bit of board, and it's actually easier to work across the board. Roll it back and forth until it's taken all the paint. Lay off the excess paint on the foam roller on a bit of paper, then add in the design roller to the elongated slots. Turn and get a full covering of paint on the pattern. Once you've got the design roller covered with paint, lay it off by holding a piece of paper against the wall. You'll also know if the design is the right way up. Always work from the top left-hand corner, passing from top to the bottom in vertical columns and moving across the wall towards the right-hand side. Use the left side of the wall as a vertical guide. Hold the applicator at a 40-degree angle to the wall and maintain that angle, keeping an even pressure as you run down the wall. As you've gone across, you might get little bits of paint here, which might smear onto the wall, so do clean it up. A little bit here. Okay, ready to go. So when you get to a corner and they've only got half of the width, lay the paper there. Down the space. If you have slight imperfections about the way you've applied it, you can go back later and by hand touch up with a paintbrush. So the key to doing it well is marking your plus and marking your minus. And that will help you get a repeat pattern as you move down the wall. You always start one pass with a plus and the next one with a minus, working always towards the right. You always start in the left top hand corner, dropping down to the bottom in one continuous move. So you drop down and the next pass you slightly go over the previous one as you go down, and then it's a continuous pattern rather than a series of stripes, which you can do if you give too much distance. There should be sufficient paint for 3 to 4 passes down the wall. To maintain an even density of the pattern, recharge accordingly and do not try to make the paint go further as the pattern will get paler. After the first pass, after recharging, use slightly less pressure when applying the roller, observing how it compares to the previous pass so they blend seamlessly. If the paint starts to thin and run out mid-pass, mark the point on the roller which is in contact with the wall, recharge and then return to the roller to the wall where you left off, but remembering to have a slightly less pressure as you start. Use the same techniques as the wall, and remember whatever surface you're rollering, furniture, always has to be upright. So this is a tabletop which has to be in the upright position. Chalk it up. This is quite nifty we've done here with a bit of masking tape. Just means you can roll it down to the complete bottom and then ready to go. It's all worked very well, apart from this bit. You can see where I haven't rolled very close together, I haven't overlapped. So you need to fill in the little area, and you can do this by just painting in the dots. This isn't a particularly fine bit of furniture, but it's actually very good for demonstrating. It was one of those ones when I went to the dump and came back with more than I took, but it works for this. I did an almost perfect job of this. I missed out a few sections here which you can retouch with a brush as I have done previously. But look at the Annie Sloan website for finishing off on a grander bit of furniture than this. The detailing lines and adding in different sort of design details which make it look like a bit more special bit of furniture. We found the best paint to use is matte woodwork paint, which is water-based. Delicate hand washing is suggested for fabric printed in this way. We really encourage you to reuse any paint you might already have, household paint left over from various decorating projects. Water down the paint slightly so it falls off the whisk with the texture of single cream. Make sure the chamber of paint swivels freely on the handle. If not, you can stretch the handle slightly. Make sure that the handle has the calibrated side of the chamber facing towards it. Fill both sides of the chamber with paint in equal quantities. Make sure that they only come 3/4 of the way out the central bit. Put the two small cylinders into the bottom, making sure they go into the slots properly. Put the black bar in the V-shaped slot, and then the main cylinder at the top. Turn the cylinder so it's flooded with paint. You have the perfect dilution when the roller is at rest and you can start to see the ridges coming through slightly on the paint on the roller. Mark the design roller with the plus and the minus diametrically opposite on the roller. Put it into the elongated slots. Turn it so the pattern gets a thin covering of paint. Pin the fabric to the wall, and if you're putting it onto a wall in your house, it's worth putting newspaper behind the fabric so that paint doesn't bleed through. Start in the top left corner, working from top to bottom. And if you're doing a repeat pattern, start with the plus on the first pass, minus on the second, as you move down the wall. And the key is to slightly overlap the previous pass each time, and then you'll have a continuous pattern as you move across the wall. I found this pair of curtains for 50p in a charity shop, old linen ones, just perfect for upcycling. Start in the top left corner, working down. You can see here that I've applied this in a non-repeating pattern, and now I'll start with a plus and moving down, minus, as you move across the wall. The key to getting a good application is slightly overlapping the previous pass.